I know after so many presentations, I know you're probably getting ready to go into the lunch and try to enjoy a little bit of the sun outside. But I really wanted to spend a few minutes today with you to first share what I learned throughout my career, because I saw the listen and lead, and I was reflecting to my 23-year career with Monsanto and now Bayer. And so many times when I was trying to make an impact, I realized that I didn't have all the answers. And I had to listen more and understand more perspectives. And the lead is, in many times, we get stuck into problems, into challenges, and our responsibility, and I know all of us are leaders in this room, is not to get stuck into that. Is to unwind them and find opportunities and solutions that are going to drive our business and our industry to a much better place. And the reason I say that, as I think about 23 years with Monsanto and now joining Bayer for 6 months as we are in this new journey, that's how I feel empowered by the new company to make an impact. If I think about the purpose of Bayer, and not only the Bayer Crop Science Division, but the Bayer Corporation, which is science for a better life, all centered around health and nutrition. That's pretty powerful. We are a science company, but we are tied to the most important things in life, health and nutrition. And if you transcend that into the vision and mission for Bayer Crop Science moving forward, which is shaping agriculture to benefit farmers, consumers, and the planet, I can relate to that personally. As I was mentioning about the listen and lead, what I value as an individual and as a leader, I can relate to that vision, and I'm passionate about it. I want to contribute to shaping agriculture as part of the new company. You may be asking the question, what does that really mean? How you're going to shape agriculture? And our strategy is pretty clear. It's defining 3 pillars. The first one is innovation. We are the market leader. We are the industry leader with our R&D innovation. Bayer invests 2.4 billion euro per year, the largest investment in R&D in agriculture. And it's not just about the dollars or the assets that we put together 6 months ago. It's about the quality of our people. It's about the complementarity of the portfolio and the pipeline of bringing these 2 companies together. And it's the opportunity to not only bring innovation, but to accelerate innovation in the marketplace. And when I talk about innovation, the other thing we're doing as a company, we're expanding the innovation term not just into the R&D space. We want to innovate as a company from R&D to commercialization, centered around the customer. And I'm going to talk more about that in a minute. The second pillar, and it's one that in my trajectory in Monsanto, we missed. We were not a good company in terms of corporate reputation. So in the eyes of the public consumers, we are not a good company. Everybody knows Monsanto from the past, from the ag industry, but a lot of consumers didn't like our company. And I love the fact that not only Bayer has a better corporate reputation to start, because they have invested more on that, Bayer is extremely committed to the second pillar in our strategy, sustainability, to drive our efforts, not only as a company, but to really, really drive the industry to deliver modern agriculture in the future and really help all of us to have safe, affordable, and healthy food. We all know I come from an underdeveloped country. Brazil, a lot of people are still dying from hunger. So we need to help the world to not only get food, but get affordable, healthy food every day. And saving a lot of the natural resources that are scarce. Think about water, soil. So we are committed to sustainability, and that's a key strategy going forward into Bayer Crop Science. The third one, which I would say is the one that is still needs to be shaped the most, but is the one that is going to transform agriculture the most in the next few decades, is digital transformation. And digital transformation, not only in the sense of climate field view and what it can bring in terms of agronomic solutions to farmers, but it's digital transformation how we really embrace data science, data analytics and insights to make better decisions every day in everything we do. We are going to transform Bayer Crop Science internally using more data, really change the way we operate by allowing data to help us make better decisions and not necessarily having to touch everything physically to drive the business. And we are going to continue driving innovation through digital transformation, bringing more value to the marketplace. And I'm going to share more in a few minutes. I want to touch the who we are. When I was in my process of deciding to stay in Bayer or not, because all of us had to go through interview process, it was the first time, coming from my entire career working for one company, that I had to stop and think about what I wanted to be and where I wanted to be and the type of company I wanted to continue my career. And Bayer was there, giving me the option to stay in this company. But I was looking the market because I said, I want to understand what are the options out there. And what made me to stay in Bayer is not just the why and the what we just talked about, it's the who we are. As I start connecting with Bayer people, I really could share our values immediately. And I personally like the life values of Bayer: leadership, integrity, flexibility, and efficiency. And as you talk to people, we share not only individual values when it comes to work, but we respect each other, we want to do the right thing, we want to act with integrity and responsibility in everything we do. And that's the starting point for me. I need to wake up every day, and I owe that to my family, to be myself and be able to be true to who I am. The second piece is, one of the big concerns I had was, can we ever get these two companies to merge the cultures we come from? Monsanto was an American-based company. Bayer is a German-based company. How we are going to make this cultural integration work? And guess what? What I learned is culture is defined by people and by leaders. And the day that our CEO, Liam Condon, said on stage, we're not looking to bring legacy cultures into the new company. We want to create a new culture. We know what got us here as individual companies is not what is going to be to get us there. We want to drive a new company forward, and intentionally, we don't want to let each of the legacy cultures to prevail. We want to drive a new culture that is customer-centric, that thinks about bringing customer value in everything we do, that has the attitude to win, and is agile in decision-making. And let me talk about those two elements. First, we are a big company. We have internal processes, and we need to be careful not to become internally focused, especially as we go through integration in the next few years. I came to the US in July. I got my family settled down in St. Louis. And you know what I've been doing the last 6 months? I've been spending 80% of my time in the field, visiting a lot of customers, a lot of you in this room, to understand what is working well, what is not working well. I spent 10 years of my career in the US with Monsanto. But being in Europe 4 years, first, I lost connectivity to the actual environment. 4 years is a long time in this business. So it was a great opportunity for me, obviously knowing a lot of people, knowing the business from past roles, but reconnect with what's your expectation on where we need to focus and how we take this company forward. And you really understand your relationship with the two legacy companies. And that's what we have been doing. Talking to customers, listening to customers, learning from customers as we define this new phase of the company. Again, customer centricity one. When I think about the second one that is a big one for me, which is how we have an attitude to win. There is a lot of reason for us to say, it's hard to integrate two companies. There are challenges, absolutely. I'm not going to sugarcoat on that. But we need to have the attitude to win and stay focused on that vision and really make bold moves to get there instead of keep focused on the challenges. That's what I mean by attitude to win. And the third one is agile decision-making. The world is changing faster than agriculture is changing, and I think all of us can relate to that. What's happening through the digital transformation of the world, right? Think about where we were 10 years ago and where we are in terms of social media capabilities, where we are in terms of e-commerce capabilities. The world is changing, and agriculture is a bit behind on that. We don't want to be in that position. We want to make agile decision-making and get ahead of this transformation in agriculture to be in a leading position again. And I'm not saying that as Bayer only. All of us in this room have the responsibility to really think about how we are going to adopt the technology and how we are going to be early adopters to be in a leading position to drive this change in agriculture. So that's the third piece of our culture. Let's get into more specifics about what I mean by integrating these two companies, and I talk about the innovation, sustainability, and digital transformation. How that translating to the core of our commercial strategy. What you read in this screen here is exactly the anchor of what you're going to become as Bayer Crop Science in the future. We are a company that is going to deliver customized agronomic solutions to address farmers' individual needs and challenges. And we aim not only to address current challenges, but to even anticipate future challenges, that we can even help farmers to see through what's coming next. And that is through the three capabilities that we brought together through this combination. We brought the best-in-class crop protection portfolio and biologicals from Bayer. We had the best-in-class seed and traits portfolio coming from Monsanto. And both companies were investing in the digital space. And we declared that climate and climate field view will be our key platform to move digital forward. And the beauty is not just those three pieces isolated. The beauty is what you see in the middle of that intersection, which is really getting to that customized agronomic solution, leveraging all parts of the portfolio to develop unique solutions, individualized solutions for each farmer, for each field, for each microenvironment on that field. That's what the future is about. And that's what we stand for as a company. And when you think about that, there are key elements that are going to help us get there. And you can see some of them in the screen. New types of products. We're going to continue investing on the product piece, on the crop systems and solution. Bayer is a leader in 5 crop or crop categories: corn, soybeans, cereals that also include cotton, horticulture, and obviously on the crop protection space. So we are committed to continue investing in crop systems and solutions around those 4 core crops. The other piece is, as I said, data-based decision tools. We will continue learning through this integrated portfolio now on how we can use data to make better agronomic recommendations. I'll use an example. Corn tar spot is a big disease, a big issue affecting farmers. How we can look seed solutions, crop protection solutions, agronomic recommendation, digital solutions, and precise recommendations from our digital tools around that disease. That's what we mean by tailored solutions around key challenges and key needs of our farmers. I wanted to declare, and that's where Winfield United and all of you in this room touch this equation. We have committed that our primary go-to-market strategy in our new company is our retail partners. It's yourself. We truly believe as we bring all those pieces together, you are on that intersection. We already sell all the products. So we want to make sure that we leverage the capabilities, us as manufacturers and technological innovators, with your capabilities to bring services and being the trust advisor to the farmer customers, to make that intersection not the size of what you see on the screen. I hope in a few years we'll see that triangle in the middle being the biggest part of this chart, because we're going to be doing with you. So I'm really passionate about this one. It's something that I had this vision when I was in Monsanto, but I remember many conversations with you when you said, I wish you had a bigger crop protection portfolio to leverage in our portfolio. And if you were in the Bayer Legacy team, I wish you had a better seed and traits portfolio. And I wish all of us were embarking to digital more strongly. Here we are. We have those capabilities. But it's going to take all of us to make this happen. And I want to reconnect to where I started. When I talk about the listen and lead, I went and I said I probably spent 80% of my time on the road, in the field, connecting to customers, having one-on-one visits with a lot of you in this room included. And I remember even going back home and my husband and my kids saying, you are not home a lot. I said, it's a good investment because I really want to learn from our customers. And one thing, even though I'm talking today about the future vision of the company, that will take a few years for us to realize the full benefit of this collaboration. I'm taking seriously the feedback we got for next year too, for this crop season and the one coming up. I know you have given us a lot of feedback, and we took that into consideration to our plans for next year. So I wanted to make sure that I don't become just a visionary speaker and we don't talk about the here and now. Things like ease of doing business, how we can simplify some of our programs. So we are looking to all of that as we speak. The second piece I want to talk about, the feedback we're getting is, Leticia, you need to move faster in building the organization. And I believe we need to go faster. And you'll see in the next few months, we'll be bringing a lot of clarity to the new organization, the integrated teams that we are putting together. So it's coming soon. So that's another feedback I wanted to share with you. And I think we are in the beginning of this journey, and I'll say the opportunities ahead of us are bigger than where we are today. And I wanted to call out 2 specific topics that I want to even bring you to this conversation, because I think will take all of us in this room to make it happen. One is how we speak up and advocate for our industry. I know we have even other suppliers here today. We don't do enough of that. Activists are gaining momentum in social media, and they are attacking ag-related topics more than ever. See what's happening with Roundup or glyphosate as an example. And this is just the beginning. Our biggest concern as an industry is not our ability to innovate and bring new technologies and products to the market, is our ability to create freedom to operate in our governments and regulators to approve those products to be on the farmer's farm. And the reason I'm calling that to us is we owe that. I mean, we are the industry. We need to speak up. We need to spend more time advocating for our industry and really making sure that people understand the potential of agriculture and the value of agriculture as a general consumer. I was in Europe for 4 years. You can imagine how we were attacked in Europe. You know, for the ones that have connection to the European account, it's amazing. I spent 30% of my time in Brussels or over government offices trying to explain our technologies and help them to make science-based decisions and not let activists tell the story. And it's happening in the US in many different ways as well. So that's my first ask. Let's speak up. Let's advocate for our industry. The second one, I love this quote. Everything else can wait. Agriculture can't. Connects to the way to innovate and accelerate innovation is also not about just bringing products and technology to the market. It's about all of us in this room be ready with a mindset to innovate. Can you remember the first time that you had your computer? I still remember. I was in university when I first had a computer. Was it easy to adopt and understand how to work in a computer? No. The first time you had your iPhone or your BlackBerry, it's hard to adopt the technology. But in many cases, we are the biggest roadblock to even try. And many of you, as we have conversation about digital tools and digital capabilities, you have some resistance. Your teams have resistance. So we need to make sure that we help our teams and our entire industry to really be ready and be in the front end and early adopters of technology versus us trying to make this business happen with the old mindset. So we need that. So those are my two asks. Let's advocate for the industry, and let's make sure that we are early adopters of technology. That's the biggest opportunity we have to drive and shape agriculture in the future. And I wanted to finish by saying, I started talking about where I started my career. I worked 20 years in agriculture. I had the opportunity to work in agriculture in Brazil, and then most of my career in the US, and now coming back from Europe, I'm really excited to be back in the US. US represents almost half of Bayer crop science. So not only what happens in the US, gets replicated in other parts of the world, but the opportunity in the US is tremendous. It's huge. And I truly believe we are building the best-in-class organization with the right people. We do have the best-in-class R&D pipeline and great assets of products and brands already in the marketplace. It's going to be our ability to drive this new culture that I talked about, being customer-centric, being agile in decision-making, and really drive this business to a much better place in the future through partnerships and listening and leading together. We cannot do this alone. We have too big of a challenge and opportunity to think that we are big enough. None of us are big enough to drive this alone. We need all of us in this room to drive and shape agriculture together. And I'm looking forward to continue working with you. And I want to first thank you for your business today. And I want to continue making our business even bigger by bringing value together to the farmers. I appreciate the opportunity to be here. Thank you, Winfield United, and thank you all of you to give us a chance to talk a little bit more about Bayer Crop Science today. Thank you.